I have a couple observations that I wanted to get on video really fast while they're fresh in my mind, based around 2 dogs that were killed this week at the Carson shelter, and different things that I want to say about each dog. I have prior videos of both dogs. My girlfriend, who's a volunteer now, has interacted with both dogs numerous times outside of the kennel.
He's pretty adorable, and he's a go to surrender. I'm really sad to be here, and it was taking him a while to cuddle because he was really sad. He says he doesn't understand why he's here, but he's real happy to be getting rubbing now.
I've interacted with both dogs numerous times at the bars. I obviously can't take him out of the cages. I'll focus on Maximus first. He was killed earlier in the week. He's an owner surrender. Super sweet dog, shy, scared, terrified of the environment that he found himself in. The first time my girlfriend took him out, she said it took her about 15 minutes to get him to even walk out of the run because he was so afraid to even leave his safe place, which was his kennel run. Once he got out into the play yard, and I have video of this because she shot it, he warmed up to her instantly. Super loving, he wanted to be close to a person at all times. You can see in the video him leaning into her and just not moving and just really just enjoying the closeness of having a person there to lean into and show him attention and show him affection. The thing that I want to say about Maximus, he had an IP on him, which means interested party, which means that somebody was had called the shelter and contacted the shelter. Sorry about the helicopter. That happens in LA-ish. There it goes. Interested party means that somebody was interested in adopting him. I came to find out that they actually visited him at the shelter, and they claimed that he growled at them, and then based on that, they didn't adopt him, and the next day, he was killed. I have an observation that I made just by visiting Maximus myself, and then a guess as to what may have happened. Obviously, it's just my opinion, I have no idea. But with Maximus, just on the 3 separate times that I visited him, as I noted earlier, he's really scared, really shy. What I saw was the runs are basically 50-50, 50 inside, 50 outside, and they have a contraption, a metal door that kind of splits the run in half, and then like a little doggy door. It's bigger than a doggy door, but it's sort of the same thing where the dogs can go in and out of the building. So they have an inside half and an outside half. And like I said, there's a metal sliding door that each run has that is jolly rigged up to some rope, and then you pull the rope and the door slides up and down, and a lot of dogs are afraid of that metal door. I've seen in the past just by visiting Carson for over 2 years now. Most dogs aren't afraid of that, but there is some that are afraid of that door, and I've seen dogs in the past refuse to even come inside because that means that they have to go through the little cubby hole to get inside. And some of the dogs are afraid of that hole, so they're more willing to just stand on the outside and either look at you or bark at you. And then if you walk around to the other side, you can greet them on the outside of the run, and they'll come right up to you. But if you come on the inside of the building and you have to rely on them walking through the door to get to you, a lot of dogs won't do that because they're afraid. Maximus was one of those dogs. With Maximus, if you came inside of the building and greeted him on the inside of his run, he would stand at the door, not coming through, but he would stand at the door and stick his head through, and he would bark at you. He would bark at you, bark, bark, bark. Not an aggressive bark, not a threatening thing. He would just look at you and he would bark. If you walked immediately outside and went to the outer half of his cage, he would be the first one to come right up to you and put his body right into the bars, get as close to you as he possibly could, and rubs anywhere, head, feet, tail, body, anywhere you wanted to pet him. He loved it up, and that was Maximus. And then if you walked, even if you just had that interaction with him on the outside, if you walked back inside and tried to coax him through the door, he wasn't having it. And he would stand at the door and he would potentially bark at you again. And that was just his personality. It was probably because he was scared, obviously, of the door. That's something that you'd hope a volunteer or staff would notice and notate. I don't know if they did or not. My guess is that the adopter, the potential adopter, the IP, probably visited Maximus, probably went inside the building and greeted him that way, and Maximus probably barked at them, and they called it a growl or whatever. I don't believe that Maximus growled, just knowing his personality, but he probably barked at them through the door. They probably didn't even take the initiative to walk around and greet him at the other end of the kennel, and they probably definitely didn't take him out of the run, because that involves having a volunteer to have to take him out and take him to the play yard, and I doubt they did all that. They probably just greeted him from the inside, and Maximus probably didn't come up to them, and Maximus probably barked at them. But that's just one of those things where you can look at a shelter dog and you can see different behaviors from a shelter dog just based on dynamics, certain environmental dynamics, other things that you might be able to notate. This was an environmental dynamic, a door that a dog was afraid of, and I think that is one of those things that just focusing in on that door for Maximus was a personality hang up for him. So if he didn't have to worry about the door, come right up to you. If he had to travel through the door, you saw a completely different side of his personality, not because he's a standoff dog, not because he's a mean dog, not because he doesn't want to have that human interaction. It's simply because he was scared, so he stands there and barks instead.
Good-looking fella. Maximus, available now. Owner surrender.
Tigre, which is the second dog I wanted to talk about, he was killed this morning. Sad part about that was he had an adopter that was interested in potentially going to pick him up on Saturday, and this is Thursday. So we're 2 days out from that, and they killed him. Tigre was a super, super shy, submissive, calm dog. I have video of Tigre. What Tigre does is he just sits right at the cage as close as he can to you, and he just stares at you. And he'll just pick his hand up and down. That's the only movement he made. His body doesn't move. He just sits completely still, like a little Yoda. And he'll lift his hand, and he likes to have his hand held. You can see it in the video. Great with kids, great with me. Super calm. They temp tested Tigre. Tigre got a C on his temp test. Everything that I just notated about his personality, they said his personality was the opposite of that. That he was energetic, that he was out of control, that he was not dog friendly, that he jumped all the time. They did pass him. They gave him a C, but they said he couldn't go to a home with kids because he wasn't trained and he was too much of a handful, too energetic, jumped too much. This is completely the opposite of what I saw when visiting Tiger, but that's neither here nor there. What I wanted to talk about more is the fact that I have pictures of Tiger. I have video of Tiger. I just put the pictures up yesterday. Tiger was killed this morning, not, 18 hours later he was killed. He's dead now. This has happened in the past where, and again, this is me taking the liberty to make a guess. But I've been told by people that the staff there watches my page. They obviously don't like the fact that I try to bring more transparency than they're bringing to the table, and I talk about some things that go on there that they would much rather the public not know about. I've noticed in the past that when I network certain dogs on my page, after I was told that, when I network certain dogs, those dogs end up being killed a day later, 2 days later, whatever the case may be. Speaking from my heart, I can tell you firsthand that for the last 10 months, I've been afraid to network dogs on my actual Sway Love Facebook page because I don't want that to put a target on that dog's back, because I've been told this by people and I've witnessed it myself. So I've shied away from networking Carson dogs. Specifically, I'll put a group of pictures up in an album, and I'll let people gravitate to whatever dog that they choose to network. But me going out of my way to network a specific dog on my page, I've not done lately, because, and solely out of fear that will bring attention to the dog, let staff know that I love this dog, and then they'll kill the dog in a retaliatory fashion to get back at me, because that's the only way the manager can get back at me. Normally they'll just fire you as a volunteer, or they'll take your pull rights as a rescuer. They can't do that to me because I'm neither. What they can do is target a dog that they know that I love, and they'll kill it. And this is my opinion. I don't know that this has happened, but with Tiger, I just put pictures up yesterday of Tiger. 2 different pictures yesterday. He's dead now. He's dead. I can't prove it, but this is unfair. Tiger was a good dog. Tiger was a great dog. And not to single Tiger out, because there's tons of amazing adoptable dogs that get killed all the time, not just at Carson, but at every shelter. But it just sucks. So there's my observations. Rest in peace to Maximus. Rest in peace to Tiger. And